Bobiwine, Kyagulanyi Center, audacity. Added audacity because I believe that is the name his haters would love to call him. I want to tell you about this very amazing man from Uganda. And before I tell you, I need you to know that I highly respect this man. And I would never in my life call him audacity if I didn't think that is how his haters view him. Some sort of background on this man. He was born in a village in Uganda. And by then, villages were pretty much nothing. And then he moved, his family, I believe, moved to a ghetto in Uganda, and that's a ghetto called Kamoch. And now from there, Bobiwine grew up and he's like, I'm not so happy by the kind of life I'm living. Let me do something about it. So he decided, I should go to the studio. I have a talent. Let me start singing. From the beginning of his career, he was always a very vocal man, and anyone could tell that this man is meant to be successful. He threatened a lot of people, I must say. While pursuing his musical career, he goes to this theater to watch a show or probably perform. I don't know the details of that. And in that show, in that theater, he sees a very beautiful woman. They are performing alongside each other. And he's like, when I see you, you look like my wife. Of course, from the way I see things, not that I know so much, I believe Bobby was really hard to get. But the minute he got her pregnant. I think the Ugandan music industry has its own issues because no sooner had his music started kicking off than another Ugandan artist started beefing him real bad. The Ugandan industry has this thing. It is toxic in a way that if you do not fight so hard, you cannot make it out there because people are going to doubt you before you set your first foot on stage. Of course, Bobiwine had to go against another artist who believed that he was way better than Bobiwine when it comes to singing, family management, and every other aspect of life. And they had to keep comparing themselves and singing back to back these tracks to each other for quite a long time. But while everyone was still focusing on the battle between Bobiwine and the other artists, in 2011, I guess, Bobiwine marries his very beautiful partner that she had been with for quite a long time. And this wedding, I tell you all, this wedding coming from a ghetto child, because this man did not just give that woman a wedding of her life, he gave the whole country a wedding of a century. We've never seen such a big wedding in my entire life. Had the whole city on lockdown just because two people were getting married. While his haters were still wondering where he gets the audacity of marrying someone that is so out of his caliber, Bobiwine was busy constructing a house. And tell me why this man reveals a whole mansion, and not just a mansion, it's on hectares of land. That land also has a fish pond. Like, this man is a mystery. The other artist that was competing with him came out to loudly say that he feels like that house was actually about to fall, but the house has been in existence since 2011, I guess, up to now. The house is there. And while we were still thinking, oh, that's just a ghetto youth that is so excited now that he has a home, he's gonna relax. Tell me why. Tell me why. This man goes ahead to buy a beach, as in land and water. He bought them concurrently. And in my mind, I'm like, his haters be there, like, the audacity. You boy, you're meant to be nothing. Why are you doing all this thing? And while we're still taking in all the too much going on, he started becoming vocal about the issues that are affecting Ugandans in Uganda. I think the audacity group was like the audacity of him. He cannot do much about that. He's only a noisemaker, a ghetto child. I mean, he had some issues as a youth. He was using this and that. And so there is nothing going on for him. Tell me why this man runs for MP and he wins the race. So he goes to parliament, and I guess he was not so pleased by how they were just distributing money amongst themselves. That is political. I hate politics. And he's like, no, I really don't like the way they are running this country. I need to run this country. And I think all his haters were like, the audacity, like, where do you get the audacity to think you can one day be the president of this country? So yeah, slowly by slowly, he forms a political party, and there he was running for president. And everyone around him were like, nah, I don't think he's going to make something out of this. No one is going to believe in a ghetto youth. Where does he get the audacity to think he's going to run this country? The day of election comes, and everyone is on pressure because this is the candidate with the highest potential to become the president of Uganda. And everyone did not see this coming. Initially, they just thought, oh, he's a ghetto youth. Let me tell you, some people go on TV and address him like his past. They want to demean him using his past, but still somehow this man finds a way to shine. When people notice that now this man is actually a politician and he's doing well, like people trust him and believe in him, they were like, nah, it cannot be. Where does he get the audacity? Let us come up with something that will make people hate him. So they claim he has these organizations that are paying him money and he's, collecting and teaching people. I don't even want to go into politics. And they did all they could to tarnish his name. Guess what? He became even more famous. On this fateful day, his son gets done with high school and he's like, I don't like the situation of this country and I can afford taking my son to another country to have a better education or pursue other dreams. And he gets his son and flies him out. Tell me why Ugandans were so mad over that. Like they expected him to raise his children in a system he doesn't believe in. I guess if he has to do that, he has to do it after he becomes president. Anyway, to cut the story short, the ghetto youth that came from nowhere and did a lot of things as a young man is now running for president, and he's the most qualified candidate close to the current president in Uganda right now, or even better than the current president in Uganda right now. And I'm thinking all his haters are sitting there like, this man has got a lot of audacity. The audacity of him to have a beautiful family, the audacity of him to have a beautiful wife, the audacity of him to have very well mannered children. They do not understand where does he buy or get his audacity from. The audacity of him to run for president and people are so willing to vote for him. The audacity of him to stand up in parliament and be like, I need this to change. I stand for this and not change his mind. The audacity of him to have a collection of very elite men work alongside him, because when you look at the people he works with, you're like, wow, this man got all the young minds in Uganda and now they are besides him. They look at him and they wonder the audacity of him to have all these things happening to him like they're gods, and they don't believe he deserves any of what he gets.